All right, there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Raging Idiot Racing Network for the MMS Money Racing Series. Right now, Stephen Henney, Robert Wilhoit, Elijah Fisher, Axel Smith, and Matt Friday leads the top 5 in practice. About 15 drivers on hand tonight. Still an action-packed race as it is. Kenneth McCullough Jr., Nathan Harper, Chris Mastretta, Steve Sizemore, Jared Haynes, Michael Wingo, Jarrett Small, Hunter Hasty, Mark Vondale, and Steven Scott Jr. all on the track tonight. Steven Scott Jr. just came off of a great finish in the HGR event, as did several drivers that's going to be in the field tonight. But that was then, this is now. With just over 8 minutes left to go here in practice. So the way it looks, maybe a short field tonight. 15 of the best, however, will still set sail here as, well, let's get an official number here. Actually, 16 drivers. Right now, we'll see if we can't find some drivers to interview before we get going here. Ain't nobody joined yet. So we're going to wait on potential interviews during practice. See, let some drivers join in the chat first. So right now, we're just going to pretty much just keep an eye here on how some drivers are taken to the track, trying to learn the draft. You see Steve Sizemore, disappointing run in the HGR race, looking to go up one more spot. Well, actually not looking to go up one more spot, looking to try to go up more than one. Right now, Sizemore sits 7th quickest at the moment. Just under 6 minutes. Again, Stephen Henning Jr. leads the way. A couple of Inspired Racing League drivers actually hold the top 3 spots. Stephen Henning, Robert Wilhoit, Elijah Fisher. You can catch them on the Inspired Racing Series on Mondays and Saturdays, making their debut in the MMS Series. Right now, Jared Haynes, he'll slide into 9th. Axel Smith taking a tour of the track. And possibly one of the drivers who does everything he can to, you see, he's got to avoid the 97 of Smith, but Nathan Harper joined us tonight, trying to get his first win live on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. He's been at the last couple broadcasts we've had. Nathan's been a contender to win each one, but unfortunately something winds up happening that prevents the 7 from getting the victory lane. But could tonight be the night that Nathan Harper puts it together? Another driver looking for redemption tonight. Michael Wingo, who felt like a few minutes ago in the HGRV, he had a truck that could potentially finish the top 3, if not win. Unfortunately, pit strategy would cost the 25 a chance to get a payout. So Wingo wanted the few drivers trying to rebound from that race and try to focus here, as Harper will slide in 10th quickest. Wingo at the line. He'll slide in 11th. Several drivers have not yet to post a lap or going onto the track. Richard Elliott, one of them, Keith McCullough, Joshua McCullough, Chase Mastretta, Jarrett Small, Hunter Hastings, Martin Von Dale, and Kyler Wren. Drivers who have not posted a time. We're back at Steven Scott Jr. coming back out with 2 minutes to go. Maybe try to make a quick qualifying mock lap. Gerald Hayes still on pit road. He's posted a lap, but just feel like a lot of drivers tonight, that's pretty much what they're going to take practice for. Practice their qualifying laps. Maybe practice pit speed entry. Just above a minute and a half left to practice. They're going to go into one lap qualifying. You see Harper doing exactly what I mentioned, practicing green flag pit stops, trying to get the brake bias right. A lot goes into being able to make green flag pit stops, but the other thing as well is, Harper overslides the box, is you got to, it's one thing to do it solo car, it's a whole nother thing whenever you got a pit with about 10 to 15 guys in some cases. Steven hitting hard into the wall. Him and Robert Wilhoit. With 40 seconds to go, it does not look like nobody's really going to take a chance to knock off Steven Henning Jr. from the top spot going into qualifying. A driver now just screwing around, having a little bit of fun before the real work begins. 11 drivers have posted a lap. Right now, Henning stands at a 48.234. Will Hoyt at 48.239. Fisher 48.301, and on down through the field. A few more drivers have actually joined, so we might get about 20 cars tonight. As with that, Practices concluded. And now we'll set our sights on qualifying. So Corey Wright, one of the first ones to roll off. Steven Scott Jr. actually is the first driver to exit the pit, so Steven Scott Jr., unless something happens, he will post the first lap. So it's time to beat with the 22 of Corey Wright right behind him. Other than that, 9 minutes for drivers to post a one-lap qualifying time. Very important that these drivers do not mess up on that qualifying lap, because you'll see drivers more predominant at Talladega, but they can do it at Daytona as well. If you quit that grass, that will automatically DQ your lap. It will not count. And then you're pretty much just stuck to everywhere iRacing will put you. And if all the cars qualify, then you can rest assured you'll be starting in the back. Daniel Earnhardt, the third, rolling out on pit road. So is the 5 of Elijah Fisher. So Fisher will be the third driver to try to knock off whichever one of these drivers set a pole lap. Right now, Corey Wright faster than Steven Scott. So potentially Wright could knock off the 88. Several other drivers coming out. Hunter Hastings, Axel Smith, Michael Wingo at the line. Scott posted a 51.07. Corey Wright top of the board at a 59.9. Elijah Fisher will be the next one to try and knock them two off of the front row. Then a back straightaway. Fisher's first lap's a little bit slower. Well, he still got 3 and 4 to really make up some time here. Just be several other drivers looking to make their lap the moment Fisher is done. As a matter of fact, Axel Smith's about to be coming off 4 now. At the line, Elijah Fisher cuts the apron. Will slide into second. Smith at the line. He's actually just starting his first laps. Okay. Hunter Hastings moves into second, knocks Fisher down. Michael Wingo slides into fifth. Still waiting on several other drivers right now. You're looking at Axel Smith down the back straightaway. So Axel should be posting his first lap along with Nathan Harper, Jared Hayes, Garrett Caswell's in the field tonight. And Smith will go third quickest. Nathan Harper will knock him down. Harper will slide into second. Look at Garrett Caswell's number 19 machine, always a TJ Barn Grill. I love the black with the blue. It's one of my favorite paint jobs that I do see as Richard Elliott slides into seventh. Take a so Jared Hayes will be the Next driver trying to knock off Corey Wright from the pole. Caswell as well, and then the 40 of Matt Frady. Or Frady, I should say. At the line, Hayes slides into third. Caswell across the line. 8th. Now we're going to take a look at the 40. He will attempt to knock him off as he starts his first lap for qualifying. 15 is Steve Sizemore just rolling out. Mike Bearden has just popped into the show. So with just over 4 minutes left, still several drivers have not posted a qualifying lap. Some big names as well. Both the McCulloughs. Just named a few: Dylan Jones, Mark Vondell, and Nick Sipple, Daniel Erbhart. Like I said, just name a few. At the line, Matt, will he knock off right off the pole? He does not. 6th quickest for the driver of the 40. Steve Sizemore on track now as that car still trying to get up to speed. But he should officially be on his first lap. Robert Wilhoit rolling out. The 26 of Dylan Jones as well. With just over 3 minutes left to make your one and only qualifying lap. To a Kyler Wren now start roll out. So drivers waiting a little bit of time. Maybe just to see how the qualifying will shape out. See what they got to do to try to knock off Corey Wright. At the line, 53.547 for Sizemore. You're looking number 2 of Robert Wilhoit. Going to be the first one to try to knock off Corey Wright. Or the next one to take an attempt to. Like Kyler Wynn. Nick Sipple. Joe Hirata's just now joining on the track. So right now, with just under 2 minutes to go, if anybody else is going to try to make a lap to try to knock off Corey Wright, they need to go ahead and get rolling now. If not, a lot of drivers will probably be forfeiting a chance to stop or start in the top 10. See Wilhoit now at the line. Is it enough to knock off the 22? It is not. 9th quickest. Kyler Wren now. Right now, he was fastest in the first Saturday. Is it enough? Top of the board, Kyler Wren. 59.73. Nick Sipple now. We'll slide into 5th. What a lap by Kyler. Joe Hirata now. With 33 seconds, this will be the last shot. Is it enough? It is not. P3. He's probably about to jump that car. How'd I know? So with 7 seconds left, Kyler Wren will take the pole for tonight. And we got a strong field of 27 cars to start tonight's event. Damn, nobody's in the Discord to interview at the moment. Well, there is a couple. Let's see here. Who to pull? Who to pull for? Who to pull for? Garrett Caswell, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, buddy, starting pretty deep in the field tonight. What's the plan? Really just try to get to the front and stay there, or maybe ride a little bit bigger field than what we just had for the HDR event?
Well, the HGR race, that was, I don't know, really fast truck there. Definitely could stay up there, but fuel was just kind of a problem. It's kind of had a bad strategy because we expected a caution, me and the couple guys I was running with. And I think we ran out of fuel, like, coming right out of 4, which sucked. But that's what it is.
How's that?
We feel the same.
Go ahead.
We're probably going to do the same thing here. We feel that we can just skyrocket up to the front and hopefully stay there, because it's much better to be up there and have the wrecks in your mirror than have the wrecks in your windshield. So
Oh, for sure.
hopefully that's how it'll work.
Oh, for sure, buddy. Buddy, hope we talk to you at the end of this thing. Best of luck to you. Garrett Caswell's got his
Yep.
work cut out for him, though, starting a little deep in the field. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
Drop him on down. Bring up another driver real fast. Steve Sizemore, Garrett Jenkins, you got a copy? Try this one more time. Steve Sizemore, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Well, buddy, little disappointed into the first race. How do you take that momentum and try to turn it around tonight?
The last race, I lost the internet while I was leading the race. That really sucked. So make sure you don't unplug your router.
I had the same issue with my internet cord. Sometimes wants to fall out the back of my PC. I know how you feel, buddy.
And this race, I thought it was 2 laps qualifying, and it was only 1.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that explains it. 'Cause we got that whole lap on. Got that whole lap under. The whole lap on. I said something was amiss with that car or something or another, but.
yeah,
Well,
it was a miss with me, is what it was.
Well, buddy, like I said, though, that qualifying run a little deep in the field. How do you take the qualifying run in the last race and try to turn the momentum around? Is it just try to ride for a little while, or is it potentially just try to get to the front? Because I'm pretty sure I know a few drivers who ain't going to want to ride around back here.
I think I'm just going to go with the flow, man. I'm not going to make a plan. If it looks like a line's going to the front, I'll go with it. I'm just going to try to follow the runs.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you tonight. Hopefully, we'll talk to you after this thing's over with.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep. So a couple of drivers is in sight. We are waiting for the green flag to go. Several drivers have not got to their cars yet. Actually, Jarrett Small's the only one.
Alright, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
We are rolling. We'll run you through the field. Kyler Wren on pole. Corey Wright second. Joe Herrera in third. Nathan Harper fourth. Jared Hayes, Nick Sipple, 56. Hunter Hastings, Axel Smith. Matt Friday. Elijah Fisher, Steven Scott Jr., Robert Will Hoyt. That is the fast 12. Starting tonight on down through the field. Garrett Cashwell, Richard Elliott, Michael Wingo, 13, 14, 15, Stephen Henning Jr. In 16th, Steve Sizemore. The 64, Joey. 17, 18, Dylan Jones, Daniel Erbhart. 19th and 20th, Austin Green, Joshua McCullough, Kenneth McCullough, Chase Mastretta. That will round out the top 24. And then on down, Mark Vondale, 25th. Mike Bearden and Jarrett Smalls rounds out the 27 car field, because I don't count. Hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July weekend. It was nothing but action-packed racing from MMS to the Dagger Pros to HGR tonight. MMS again, Inspired ARCA Series. Put on a hell of a show at Atlanta, as every race has been for the Memorial Day weekend. Appreciate everybody staying up late each night watching some of the best that iRacing has to offer. Duke it out in different leagues, and it concludes the night. And we're going to be taking another lap around here. We're going to pull up one more driver for interviews. Richard Elliott, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, buddy, a little bit unusual taking another pace lap around. I wanted to ask, does this kind of calm the nerves before going, or does this only add to the anxiety of getting ready to go with about 27 of the best cars?
They just made a mistake. Gave us one extra lap. Yeah, Daytona, not much room to mess up, so it'd be a little anxiety till we get to the end.
Yes, sir, buddy. You think this 000's got something for these boys tonight? Can we see you make a rally to the front?
Yeah, we'll see. See if I can get someone to partner up with me.
All right, but I think one of your teammates just joined you in the Dagger Pros. So best of luck to you, buddy. Hope to talk to you at the end of this thing.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Richard Elliott. With 50 laps on hand tonight. As Kyler Wren will now we bring them down to go green this time. A little bit of a miscue on race control's part. All right. So Kyler Wren, Corey Wright will be bringing them down to the start of this race here. Entering the restart zone, we are rolling, and MMS is underway. Robert Wilhoit not going or wrecking behind him near about. They keep it straight, but damn, he did not mess up some cars. Yellow flag is out, as a matter of fact. We're under our first caution tonight. So we'll go ahead and see what happens. I know this starts with the 2 somewhere. Any here. A little bit of a gap to the back of the 4. And yeah, he just don't know if he's stuck in another gear or what happened, but from there on back, it seemed like kind of cluster jammed him. I know that looks. We'll look at Stephen Henning because we saw him get sideways here. Yeah, so the two obviously did not get going. From there, it's just an accordion. Some drivers get significant damage out of that. And not how you want to start the race tonight. So under caution quickly, didn't even get 20, didn't even barely get 50 feet past the start finish line, didn't even get to the start finish line. And under caution tonight already. It's going to be interesting to see some drivers yet. They're going to go ahead and come in, top in on fuel. Saw this a lot in the HGR event a few short minutes ago. Drivers taking every opportunity they can get to squeeze every last drop of fuel. You saw how it paid off for the majority of the field in the last event. Let's see, Kyler wins the race off the pit road. Elijah Fisher stays out to gain 9 spots. So some thinking track position early. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Of course, with now 26 cars on track. Jarrett Smalls did not take the start here, so 26 cars on track. The fuel strategy is going to be all over the place. Drivers are going to be thinking. Drivers going to be thinking when they can pit, how much fuel do they need to save to make it to a window. Go ahead and run a ticker across the top of the screen. See the ticker running across the top of the screen. Already under caution after the 2 of Robert Wilhoit does not get going on the start of the race. Rather, it's a mischief, starting the wrong gear. Not sure what the issue was, but it does affect Stephen Henning, Earnhardt, and several others. See a couple other drivers coming in the top end. Kenneth McCullough, of course, one of the well-known veterans in the sports, the money racing in these big-time money leagues. Right now, he was in position to win the HGR event. Unfortunately, could not stretch the field long enough, had to pit. Of course, the last 2 times we were on air with the MMS, Daniel Falkenham ended up winning both times to sweep the Thursday and Friday night 4th of July MMS Money Racing. But unfortunately, Falkenham not here tonight. If I ain't mistaken, he won last night too, didn't he? No. If he did, it wasn't everybody else. That being said, Falkenham not here tonight. Hopefully we'll get to see him next week along with some of the other drivers who are not here to join us tonight. Robert Wilhoit, black flag on the 2. Not sure if that's for the cause of the caution, how race control deemed it, or what the cause is. With a re-rack the top 5, Elijah Fisher, Colin Wren, Nathan Harper, Jeremy Rudder, and Corey Wright. That is the top 5. Nick Sipple, Jared Hayes, Axel Smith, Hunter Hastings, and Matt Friday. That is the top 10. Or if you're Nathan Harper, you're looking to get up there. You know, the last 2 broadcasts we've had, that 7's been bad fast every time as we're back rolling here. Great jump out of Ford Fisher, but now going to have to defend both lanes. The lane control is going to be very critical tonight as he goes down to the bottom lane, and that's going to open up the door for Kyler Wren, Nathan Harper, Nick Sipple. Outside lane, very disorganized. You saw Jared Hayes jumps up in that black and purple number 7. Right now, everybody jumping to the high side. They know how great that high side will work. They know how important the lane control is. See a little bit of some aggressive pushing. Right now, Kyler Wren starting on pole. Led the opening 2 laps. Under caution, might have had looking to lead his first laps in the green tonight. At the line, Sipple side by side with Wren at the line. Nick Sipple will lead the first lap in the green. Let's see how the outside lane is. You see drivers jumping all over the place. Jared Haynes from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom. Everybody trying to make track position work. Some drivers back there trying to just save their tires, save their fuel, whatever it may be. You're going to see a lot of drivers who's right now back there in the back going to eventually work themselves up as the laps tick down. 45 to go, going to be 44 at the line. Nathan Harper trying to pull that inside line to help Kyler Wren to lead his first laps under green tonight. Right now, a lot of drivers actually. Every driver but Elijah Fisher pitted under that last pit stop, but a few more drivers pitted twice. Well, you saw in the HDR event how fuel became a major factor in the benefits to really topping off twice. So you see Jason Sturda, that black number 8, trying to make something happen, trying to form up a 3rd lane as they're trying to go 3 wide already. But at the line, Wren will lead again. Wren's already led 4 laps tonight. Plans on staying at the front if he can help it. And back straightaway now. See that 3rd line starting to form up with Mastrutta. Well, and unlike Talladega, you know, I mean, you can go 3 wide. That ain't the issue. As, oh, one in the wall. Massive. Stephen Henning Jr. is in it. You just saw him. Michael Wingo, who had a fast truck in the HGR, already in trouble early. 64 is involved. He's got damage. But it's going to start with somebody got turned. It's going to be hard to decipher who. I think Mastrutta got the wall, and then somebody else got it there. Well, let's just go back and look at it real quick. Rewinding it here. Joshua McCullough. Well, here comes the run. Of course, side drafting, and just a big push to the 8, but it gets the 05. All different kinds of out of shape. Go back and look at it. So look at the run and how it's forming. So here comes the run. The thing about it is, see his dad, Kenneth McCullough, pushing him. So Kenneth gets off of him, and the shot to the 8 is a little bit big, and it kind of somehow gets the 05 sideways into the wall from there. Gets clipped by the 03. Wingo barely makes it through. Stephen Henning almost made it through, but hitting up into the wall. and massive damage to the 77. Look at Steve Sizemore, that 8 barely getting through. Kenneth McCullough barely sneaking it through, but the 90 of Earnhardt, slight contact. Don't think it's going to affect nothing. But man, oh man. Actually, we're riding in real time and watch as this unfolds from the turns 3 and 4 cam. Well, actually, we're not. We're actually going to. So 2 cautions quick and early are ready to start the 9th. So the rear racket, Nick Sipple, Kyler Wren, Nathan Harper, Joe Hirota, Jared Hayes, that's the top 5. Axel Smith, Corey Wright, Garrett Casewell, Matt Friday, and Elijah Fisher. That would round out the top 10. See Simple already wanting to play in the fuel game, trying to stretch it. Running on the apron, trying not to burn as much fuel as he can possibly help it. Will not be surprised we see a couple drivers come back in and try and top off. Really hard to say the biggest movers in the race. We only ran 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps under green. But right now, the biggest movers of the race, Chris Mastrota up 12, Mike Bearden up 13. Them are right now the biggest movers of the race. Other than Nick Sipple and Garrett Caswell up 5 spots from where they started, and Austin Green as well. Some drivers did come back in pit. A lot of them with damage. You see Earnhardt, Mark Mondale, Steven Scott Jr., several of them came back in. Drivers trying to get these early cautions. They're playing dividends right now to a lot of these drivers trying to stack the fuel. Of course, the more fuel you take under these cautions, the further back you can push the time to pit, and if there's enough, you can push it back enough to where then you ain't got to worry about fuel for the rest of the race. But going to be 39 to go. So still a bit of a ways left in this 50-lap race tonight. Despite the early incidents, every car is still in the race and on the lead lap. Well, that being said, 39 to go. When they take the green here, Nick Sipple, Kyler Wren brings them down. Nathan Harper, Joe Hirota. In row 2, we're rolling. Great jump out of 75. Thing about it is, he going to stay with Harper? Is he going to try to jump up there and cover the 82 of Kyler? Right now, he stays to the bottom with Harper and Haynes. Going right, that's 25. Having a great run so far. Started outside pole. You see Fisher and hitting now, linked back up. But they're mired deep, probably about the 10th to 11th position as side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Right now, Sipple now able to get out to a pretty sizable lead. Well, I say sizable mainly just to clear, so if he wanted to control both lanes, he could. Right now, he sticks to the bottom and Sipple leads his 4th lap of the race tonight. Right now, of course, outside line really not able to pull a run down the back straightaway like you would see at Daytona and Talladega. Well, as I say that, there's a great look at it, almost drawing right up even with the 75. See Harper with a bit of a push right for the corner. There goes Sipple up to cover lane control, but it will leave. Will lead Nathan Harper to the bottom and try to get up there. Off of 4, Nathan Harper trying to lead his first laps of the race tonight. And at the line, give it to him. And Nathan Harper officially leads tonight. Joshua McCauley in to serve a drive-through penalty. One can assume from triggering that wreck a handful of laps ago. Right now, I'm wondering, are drivers going to try to settle in and try to stretch the field game, or how is this going to work? See a lot of them on the bottom, but still a decent amount of cars up top. You got to think the guys that pit twice under caution, they're in a little bit better of a spot than what the guys do who stays out. Just pits one time and does not pit on the one to green. I see Sipple now back down to the bottom of the cover. Harper, Sipple will lead his 5th lap in the race. Kyler Renz led 6, most so far tonight. Flag official led 2, and Nathan Harper's led only 1 lap. Going to be 35 to go next time by, and right now, not really a whole bunch of jostling. You see Steve Sizemore back there, that black and yellow car, trying to pull some of them drivers in the back with him. McCullough, the 90s. Right went out of view, that 8 of Estrada jumped up right behind the 2 of Wilhoit. Wilhoit has now dropped back down to the bottom of the track. As Nick Sipple comes down to lead. 35 to go, never too early to make your pre-race predictions on who can win this race right now. 35 to go. Anybody can just predict it or shout out your favorite driver in the comments section below. Letting them know that you're watching tonight. But right now, Kyler Wren has not left the front row pretty much since the start of this race. Starting on pole. But right now, the drivers are to the point now to where you can just ride at this point. Ride, try to stretch the field. You know that it's coming, but what I believe a couple of drivers want to do, they are not going to want to pit with the first pack that comes down pit road. They're going to want to try to go an extra lap. Maybe avoid pitting with the big pack, because green flag pit stops always treacherous at Daytona and Talladega. We see it a lot, especially in these leagues. Get a whole group, about 10 or 15 cars. They see Sipple now back down to the bottom. How about that shot from the 7? So back in the 75, you saw the wiggle, keeps it straight. Look what it does though. Outside lane falls back to the 3rd car. You see Harper now trying to put that outside lane up. He'll cover the 82 of Kyler Wren. At the line, Nathan Harper leads his 2nd lap of the race, a little bit sideways through the field. And Nathan Harper, of course, last couple of broadcasts with Raging Idiot Racing Network has done. Harper has been a threat the last 2 times. The race was not broadcast last night, unfortunately. But the last 2 broadcasts that we've done, Harper's been a constant threat From start to finish, he is showing no different tonight. Right now, you see some drivers snaking their way. Hard to say really when they're starting to think about pit strategy. As they are coming up on the 05 and Joshua McCullough, who had to put the drive-through penalty at the start, at the restart. And you see Sipple now back to the lead. So the 05 of McCullough really good. As you see, there's the 05. Really could play a hand in this. Going to be interesting to see if he goes to the top or the bottom. See if it really makes one of these lines suffer just a little bit. As right now, you see he'll go up to the third lane. The three wide's a little sketchy, especially through here. They keep it straight for a moment. And right now, if you're Joshua McCullough, you just want to get right behind probably 8 of Sizemore and ride. That's all you want to do. Yeah, you know another caution is coming, you just don't know when, because as the laps tick down, nobody's going to cut anybody a break. If you make a late block, they're not going to lift coming to 5 to go, or even sooner, maybe 10. Down the back straightaway, you see Harper covering the bottom again. Pretty much drivers, it's hard to say if they're doing lane control, but I guess they're trying to figure out which car is better. So right now, if I had to take my 3 best cars, I would take the top 3 of Harper, Sipple, and Wynn. Both of them cars have been at the front of the majority tonight, but don't be mistaken, several others go through them. Jared Haynes, Axel Smith, Corey Wright, Chris Estrada has worked himself up into the top 10. Now back straight, you see a lot of drivers now. Some have kind of positioned them on the bottom. You can expect that some of them drivers, green flag pit stops, were on 11 lap. 11 lap stint, 10 to 11 for some drivers. So right now you're just thinking, you know, if I'm running by now, I'm Garrett Caswell, 5th car in line on the bottom, black and blue car right in front of Elijah Fisher, that Gravedigger car. I'm pretty much just thinking, how much fuel can I save? How long do I need to go before I can make something happen when I need to pit? As far as the leaders go, they know they're going to have the track position. They know they're going to be first cars on pit road, or they could stay out an extra lap and not pit with a big pack that's probably going to be coming down. So again, it's just about where you're at on track and the mindset you're having right now with Harper back down to the bottom. Right now at the line, a great view. Harper now leads his 6 laps of the race. Nick Sipples led 8. Kyler Renz led 6. So right now him and Harper are tied. But of course there's no extra money. No extra money to who leads the most laps or leads a lap. But you kind of get a feeling, the drivers who lead the most laps, you get that feeling of who could be a favorite if it stays green. But right now we're approaching halfway. So eventually the gloves are strong. Oh, there we go! God almighty. Elijah Fisher's in it. You see him, Hunter Hastings. Axel Smith got turned. How about Richard Elliott weaving through that mess? Ah, Steve Sizemore. Kenneth McCullough's involved, heavy damage. That Gravedigger car of Elijah Fisher completely tore up. Hunter Hastings again, one of the ones involved. Well, you saw the 97 get turned, don't know. Almost upon second glance, kind of looked like a netcode incident. We're going to go back and look at it. We just set this up going down the back straightaway. Chris Mastrutta, or Chase Mastrutta behind him, sorry. Coming So we're in the middle of 3. Mastretta looking to the inside. A little bit of contact. That's all it takes. Just a little bit of contact. From there, it falls into everybody's lap. You see drivers piling in. The smokes, Michael Wingo involved in it. Good gosh almighty. See if we can't ride on board with a couple of drivers here. Well, on board with Robert Wilhoit through this. You see Wilhoit on the bottom lane. You're going to see that little bit of contact coming up. Right there, from there. Off the gas. Stay down. Fisher. Somebody gets turned for official. Wilhoit almost had it through there. As you see, damn, Steven hitting right on the bottom. Wilhoit's going to make significant contact. Right on board with Elijah Fisher through this. There's how quick it's just going to be, folks. So, can't really see it, but there's the contact. You see it. Down to the bottom. He almost had it cleared. Gets hit from behind. Gets pounded in the rear. They're still wrecking. From Steve Sizemore point of view. We can't get a better camera angle than just this. Don't seem like I am going to be able to a little bit limited tonight. Right on board the Gyro Can with Sizemore. Nowhere for him to go. He's going to make kind of hard contact with the inside wall. It's going to be interesting to see how it affects that car. Is fast repair needed? The first big one of the night. It just goes to show how little contact. I do want to take one more look if we got the time real fast. Because I really just want to see this. I'm going on board with. See if we can't find him. Where is he? Right here, Steven hitting. I mean, I saw him slip by right on the inside. Right on board with the 77. It's amazing. He saw it coming. He was able to get off the gas for a Wilhoit. They were two right through. Whoo! My God. Just how quickly it comes apart for some drivers, and it's right at halfway, so this caution, it really is really going to help the drivers who, we got a great green flag run, but now everybody's pretty much has got, it's going to be close for the field window if I ain't mistaken. They just ran probably like a good 10, 11 lap stint. Actually, we'll see if the data's updated. Right, so just ran 15 laps. Still undetermined if that is the fuel load. We haven't really seen green flag pit stops because we ain't been able to get to them yet. It's really opened the door for drivers who could potentially make it. But 25 laps, going to be 24 when we go. I doubt it. I doubt any driver is good right now on fuel. I know for a fact that the 7 and the 82 keep leading this race, even after this last pit stop. They're going to be the ones that's going to have to probably fall back and pretty much just try to save fuel one way or another. Well, I see how it plays out. 24 to go from Daytona. Great start by the front two cars, top five, but a lot of separation, especially on that outside lane. That's going to hurt Wynn a lot. We see if Wright can get caught up to the 8 of Mistretta, who has had a very close night tonight. He's been involved, just about been collected in every incident, somehow has 9 lives tonight. They're down the back straightaway now. 5 cars on the outside lane, bottom lane not really connecting enough to really do anything. We see how it works for Wynn, because now he can do exactly what he's doing. Drops down to the bottom, does not want that bottom lane to really get the run on him. But Gerald Hayes up there in the 7, trying to make something happen. Has not led a lap tonight, officially. What do we mean by officially? You can lead, hell, 3 drivers can lead 2 or 3 times around this whole track, but it does not officially count as you leading a lap till you cross that start-finish line way on the other side. You see Wren now back up to the outside lane, but here comes Harper and that Dallas Cowboy Ford Mustang getting a push from Chase Mistretta. Nick Sipple lost a couple of spots on pit road. Was not able to start up in the top 2 or 3, but however, oh, Harper gets turned! Keeps it straight. We stayed great, a hell of a save by Nathan Harper, but unless there's a caution, that's pretty much it. Let's rewind real fast, see what happened. Just real fast, because we want to cover this action best we can. They just got him in the wrong area. That bumper sent him on around. But a hell of a save. 4 to 7. Now the other 7 of Jared Hayes trying to lead that bottom lane as Chase Mistretta now leads officially for the first time tonight with 21 to go. What's up, John? How you doing tonight? See, Mistretta, oh, they're getting, God almighty, how many think they're going to get away with that? Daniel Earnhardt, a great save by the Bass Pro Shop car. Here comes the 40 of Matt Freder. Has a little bit of a lag on Mistretta's part. No harm, no foul, side by side. Look who's just worked himself into the picture. It's amazing how you can avoid a wreck and where it puts you. Stephen Henning Jr. up to 3rd. Side by side for 2nd as Matt leads his first laps tonight. Elijah Fisher, Robert Wilhoit working themselves up into the picture. 20 to go. Eventually the gloves are going to come off. Drivers are not going to really be as friendly. As Matt Frady now leads down the back straightaway, hitting now, pulling that outside lane. But still, the thing is, as a little bit, Mistretta's really pushing hard tonight. Beautiful number 8 car. I love the junior font on it, the Marvel St. John on it. It's a great car right now. Chase trying to get his first win on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. The other one has had a quiet night, but slowly has worked himself to a top 5. That white car, the 26, Dylan Jones, having a quiet night. I've not seen much of him up at the front until now. Michael Wingo has had an up and down night. He's been involved in just about every wreck. In that 25, right behind Robert Wilhoit, last car in that outside lane. They see Mistretta now down the yellow line. Nobody ain't gonna let him blend in. Well, yeah, they are the one. Stephen Henning now trying to take the lead from the 40, but the bottom lane. There you see Michael Wingo drop down to assist that bottom lane. Well, of course, you really do not see that as, God, they are sideways off of 4. Holy hell. Henning at the line. Give it to Stephen Henning. Leads his first laps officially tonight. And this is the benefit. If you just avoided the big one a few laps prior, you inherit the track position that comes with it. And now it has put Steven Henning, who had a rough start, involved in a checkup. Gone in checkup right to start the race with Robert Wilhoit, then got involved in another incident, barely missed the second big one of the night. 18 to go. Some drivers that you have not seen, some making their debut, Henning, Fisher, Wilhoit, just name a few making their debut tonight for the MMS series. See a bit of a gap there. See Sizemore, the last car in this little lead pack. You have 10 drivers that's hitting now. Leads his second. Led his second lap of the night, but here comes Jones to the bottom, and now the white number 26 out front. Well, here comes that big pack, and they're about to, probably about 10 to go. Like, all bets are going to be off. Right now, everybody's still there, probably anticipating. We look at the pit spinning. They still have roughly maybe another pit stop. Maybe. It's going to be close. I don't think they're going to be able to make it. We're just going to have to see. I didn't think the HDR truck was going to make a 27 lap run, but I was wrong. But right now, if there is another caution, you got to be worried about the drivers in this front pack burning the fuel. Part of me wonders if that's why. Part of me wonders is that why Sipple and Ren, who are now Ren's running in 16, if that's why they dropped to the back, try to save a little bit of fuel here. We'll have to find out right now. 15 to go. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out, but still 2 by 2. Well, now you see what was about a 10-car pack has now blended back up into the monstrous pack that we've been known to see. Right now, 23 drivers with about just over a second from the leader to the rear of this field. So it's still a pretty tight race, but still way too early to call. 14 to go. Henning leads this 4th lap of the race. Biggest mover since the start of this event. We'll update you now. Steven Henning up 15 spot. Dylan Jones up 17. Daniel Earhart up 14. Caution is out. Drivers to the grass. Robert Wilhoit, one of them. Good Lord. Let's go ahead and review it real fast here. It is going to start. So let's see here. Bit of a push, bad push to the 7. Really, it's just a stack of effect. Michael Wingo, an unfortunate victim. Been a rough night for Wingo. Really, if you want to look at it from one way, yeah, Steve Sizemore gives the bad push, but it all starts with a checkup effect. So right here, the push to the back of Hayes. See Fisher all out of shape. Hang on to that car going down the straightaway, buddy. So push right there, a bad push to the 7. But now Sizemore getting pushed by Caswell. Sizemore's he's the meat in the sandwich. And really, Will Hoyt just too big of a shot off center. And I mean, Michael Wingo. Just an innocent bystander in all of this. See all drivers scattering. Somehow or another, however, as I don't know why. Somehow or another, though, just about every driver has a fast repair. And look what this does. 13 to go. Everybody should be good on fuel. So this is where, see, a couple of drivers actually stay out here. But this is where a lot of drivers, I mean, all bets are going to be off. See, the one overshoots his pit box. You listen to Kyler Wren turn off the car in massive fuel saving mode. He might be trying to make it, but with 12 to go right now, it's hard to say. Hunter Hastings being involved in one incident has worked, taking the gimbal on track position. Driver's working off a pit road. Well, safe to say, if you're fourth on back, we chase Mastrutta all the way down to the 23rd spot. Safe to say, you're going for it. Like, fuel should no longer be a factor. I do not think. I would not think it's been a factor, especially just pin under this last pit stop. As far as the 75 and the 82 and the 44, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they can make it. It's been a very action-packed race to begin with. Been very action-packed right from the get-go. We worked out a few keys, got a great green flag run. Seen some big ones, seen some saves. Seen drivers absolutely willing the heck out of these cars, but if you think it's been intense to start with, 1 to green, we'll restart with 10 to go. If you think it's been intense now, you ain't seen nothing yet, especially when these drivers, they're good on fuel. They expect people try to make that third lane work. Probability of overtime, very high. Going to re-rack the top 5 as they run. Nick Sipple, Kyler Wren, Chris Mastrutta, Hunter Hastings, and Dylan Jones. That's the top 5. Actually, no, it'll be Jack Brady. Dylan Jones, Jarrett Hayes, Daniel Earnhardt, Elijah Fisher, Stephen Henning Jr., and Austin Green should be the top 10. It is not over. Not by a long shot. 10 more laps of regulation, and then if need be, if the caution comes out in a manner to where we cannot go green before regulation, we'll get 3 attempts at an overtime. Kyler Wren, Nick Sipple, both have dominated this race so far tonight. They lead us to the green with 10 to go. Outside line immediately forming up, trying to lead that bottom lane. Stephen Henning has to hurry up and get to the back bumper, that 40. Here comes Garrett Caswell pushing Stephen Henning. Here comes the bottom lane. Majority still in the outside lane. Outside lane very organized. Not as broken up as the bottom here, but the pushes are about to get more physical. Nick Sipple leads. Wanted to block the 82, could not get there. Here comes Kyler Wren now on the bottom. Hunter Hastings push in, not seen nothing out of Hastings all night despite the first big one of the race. At the line, Sipple leads his 10th lap, 9 to go. Let's get it on now. Look at Richard Elliott. Caught him at the top of the show. He's that first car on the third lane. Here comes Joshua McCullough. Just got his lap back. It is still 24 drivers race to lose. Mark Bearden out. Axel Smith out. Third lane starting to form up, and here they come now. We told you the gloves are coming off. You're going to see 3 wide. And it's only going to take one mistake right there. Red up. There's the big one. Henning's in it. Fisher's in it. Everybody's in it. Chase Mastrada's in it. The dominant car of Kyler Wren involved in this one. Nathan Harper has damage. Daniel Earnhardt damaged. Steve Sizemore's killed. Massive damage to the 7 after a great run tonight. Led 10 laps. Had to pit. Was trying to work himself back up there. Has got damage. David Henning damage to the rear bumper. Elijah Fisher can't see much damage. He may have gotten through it. A little bit of damage to the rear. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way that some drivers, when it starts at the front like that, you know it's going to be big, and you know it's going to start with the 82 up there in the pack. Coming off of 4. Pushing. Of course, the shoving getting more aggressive. It's coming to the end. Mastrada comes down on the 82, and from there, and the 8 finally finished him off. See what Nathan Harper saw through all this mess. And Harper's back here in the back. He's just trying to ride. He knows it's coming. Bottom, low, get as low as you can, And the 87, oh, man. Would have had it cleared. Garrett Caswell, we're right on board with him on his nose cam. Looking right at the back bumper of Stephen Henning. There's the contact, and from there, Caswell trying to get low, but just cannot get low enough. Reaction time. Look at the cars, holy. I want to see, because I saw this at the corner of my eye. We were going through it. I want to see, does Elijah Fisher get through this unscathed? Right on board with him through this. Actually, we'll go to roll bar. Now he does get a little bit of damage through it, but other than that, minor damage. Well, if this was not the big one of the night, it would be dubbed the huge one, as it takes out everybody except Nick Sipple, Hunter Hastings, Joshua McCullough out front, Matt Frady, Steven Scott Jr., Kenneth McCullough, Mark Vondale, Joe Herrera, Dylan Jones, and Daniel Earhart. That was the top 10. A lot of drivers in the pits getting damage fixed. That's not what you wanted to see. Go back real quick. We'll see what happened to Steve Sizemore right on board with him. Well, it does not appear it's going to allow me to do so. Right back on board. See how Sizemore's night's going to come to an end here. Well, you see, he's 3 wide, so he has absolutely nowhere to go. He can only hope and pray that they're going to keep it together. But there's the move right there. Contact, 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 and just nowhere to go. Wondering how does it give him a meatball though. Ah, he blew it. So that's how Steve Sizemore's night's going to come to an end. Hard to say. Hard to say, Brian. Hard to say. Regardless, not my place to... Not tonight. It's not my place to deem nothing intentional. Merely the commentator tonight. And, buddy, I'm getting a great show, and I'm sure the 26 viewers at home are getting a great show as well. It's been action-filled. Constant lead changes, but now 5 to go. Will not be a green-white checkered attempt. We will take the green flag with 4 to go. From there, game on. Game on. You're right on board. Nick Sipples led the most laps of 14 tonight. Trying to get it done. Dylan Jones with the fast lap of 46.485. $22 drivers still with a chance to win it. With 4 to go, does somebody come from the back? The first night I ever broadcast an MMS race. Austin Green came from 19th in the final 2 laps to win. It is very well possible, and we are rolling. 4 to go. Down the back straightaway, single file for the most part here. Josh McCullough dips out line. McCullough 1 lap down at one point in this race. Trying to bring it home. Simple up the block. Yeah, let's go over the door for Matt. You see the 88 dropping down to the bottom. Not heard nothing out of him all night. Steven Scott Jr. up to 5th with a top 5 potential payout on the line. Three to go. 3 wide already. And their contact, the 40 gets showed down line. Do they save it? No, they don't. Jesus almighty. That time, there's going to be a lot of cars terminal. Elijah Fisher coming to a complete stop. On the bottom lane, about the only thing you can do. Stephen Henning sneaking through on the outside. Kevin McCullough's night is done. Well, you knew it was going to be big whenever. Knew it was going to be big whenever a car gets turned on the apron, has to come back up. The amount of damage done tonight has been crazy. Look at the field. That's late in the wreck, obviously. That's from Garrett Caswell's view. Here it is. But a 40 is going to get slammed right there. You know it's bad. when the 40 gets slammed, he's going to come back up. He really cannot help it to come back up. Look at Elijah Fisher finally just come to a stop. Nothing that none of these guys can do. Nothing. Let's look at the 40. I want to look at the 40's view of things here. As you see, he's already tore up in this angle. But let's just watch the run. And matter of fact, I want to watch it from the crash chopper cam. We're doing a tri-oval. We're going to actually doing a slow motion here, see what we can see. Come out to tri-oval. Does McCullough get a push for Kenneth? See it right here. Runs coming, runs coming. There's the bump. Of course, the 05's rear bumper already damaging a little bit of that bump. Enough to send the 05 down into the 40. From there on, you know it's going to be big. Drivers in the catch fence, cars upside down, cars are airborne, bumpers and hoods are flying everywhere. Just red flag it at this point. Just red flag it. Of course, he said 3 to go. The aggression. It does not matter where you want to be bumped, how you want to be bumped, or when you want to be bumped. When it's coming to 3 to go with money on the line, especially a great payout like this league provides, based on 28 guys, if there's 28 cars in here, $130 would go to first. Meaning we're just, well, technically 27 cars started this race. So obviously it's going to, either way, it's going to be above $100 to first. So really, I mean, $100 on the line. I'm wrecking my mom. I had to think. We're requesting a couple onboard shots here. So we're going to back this up, get a couple onboard shots real fast. Pause it. The first one, Stephen Henning's view of things through this. Go on board the gyro cam with Henning through this wreck. Right on board with him. And he cannot see. Now he sees that car coming back. When he sees that, he knows it's big. Hard. Man, a hood right into the windshield. Other than that, he is able to woe it down enough to really get through this and tiptoe his way through. Next driver that request will be the driver to 2 himself, Robert Wilhoit. We know he's about to get slammed. Run on board with him. Looking at Garrett Cashwell and good Lord have mercy, son. Last one being requested, Jared Hayes. Right on board with him through this, and then we got to hurry up and cover the action here. They're going down the back straightaway. 1 to go. A little late here, but we'll see it right on board with Jared Hayes through this. To see, whoo! Ah, he almost had it. With that being said, we're going back live here. This is indeed the first attempt at a green-white checkered. Well, simple as not pitted in 26 laps. everybody behind him all the way down to Hunter Hastings has pitted within 1 to 6 laps. So you got to wonder, does Sipple have enough for an overtime finish? How about Nathan Harper, by God? Just involved in a wreck and now is up there to win it. Ratchet the TV down and pull them belts tight. We are rolling, 2 to go. First attempt down overtime. Looking at this organization already, a top 6. Top 6 is already split. Michael Wingo, Joshua McCullough trying to get up there to the lead pack again, and whenever they get there, they're coming. But you see how many cars is left. Hard to believe that just a couple laps ago, there weren't but about 26 or 22 cars. Nathan Harper to the outside, getting pushed by Stephen Henning Jr. Here comes Jared Hayes pushing Nixon. Fisher's going to go around. Elijah Fisher hard into the wall. Others collected as well. Engine's toast. Got one fast repair left in the chamber. Bad to the bone, but not how he wanted tonight to go. And it will be a second attempt at a green-white checkered out of 3. Let's go ahead and see what happened. Well, Fisher has had 9 lives all night, and it finally ran out. Must have used up the rest of them at a point we did not know. So going down the back straightaway here. Harper out in front for the moment. Pushing. He's off of Henny. Here comes Joshua McCullough with a big run. Looks to the inside. Hard to say, a little bit of net code involved in that, potentially. Let's go back to a slow motion camera and review this. So right here comes the run from the 05. The deal with netcode is, yes, netcode can be involved, but if cars are going to make contact with or without the netcode, the blame would probably be put on the car that made it. So here it is. Came up to side draft. No netcode involved, but either way, that's really hard to say. It's not my job tonight to pick a blame on somebody. But I will say this. Elijah Fisher had a great night going up until that point. Right on board winning through this. And so wants to spam. I mean, obviously he knows it's coming. He knows he's looking to the inside, but bang. What all can you do? Coming. Well, it's to the end of the race. Everybody's trying to get every position they can. Hate to say it's kind of a product of this type of racing. And the thing is, like, money racing, it's a kind of a cutthroat business, you know, like lap 3, you throw a block or something like that, just an example, lap 3, hey, I'll let you get away with it this time. 3 to go, especially in overtime, it's desperation. From where I see it, it's just desperation. It's hard to say, really, but overtime, money on the line, big money on the line. But through it all, Nick Sipple had to pit. And thus, we have seen this once. We will see it again. Nathan Harper out front. A couple broadcasts ago for MMS, Harper tied with Malik Ray for the most laps led. Unfortunately, was not able to get it done tonight. He will not lead the most laps, but has led the second most at 11. He'll choose the outside lane here. He knows that 82 of Kyler Wren. He knows it as a great pusher. However, You see a lot of drivers not going to the top. Well, now they go. There they go. All right, I jumped the gun. I had to go trying to get up there to the top. So this is about to be one of the most this is only the second attempt, ladies and gentlemen, so this is going to be even more intense. May have to use a third to re-rack the field. Nathan Harper out front, Jarrett Hayes in second, Kyler Wren in fourth, Stephen Henning Jr. is in third. Michael Wingo will round out top five. Joshua McCullough, Matt Frady, Joe Herrera, Stephen Scott Jr., Richard Elliott, Daniel Earnhardt III. That is the top 10. Well, it has been a night. It's been a whole weekend of great racing. MMS, Dega Pros, HGR, Inspired Racing League. It has been one of the best ways to spend Memorial Day. Not Memorial Day, but 4th of July weekend. Other than the cookout, the barbecue, the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the beer, everything in between. It has been one of the best ways to spend my 4th of July weekend, from Thursday night to Sunday night. And it's only fitting that the fireworks continue to fly. This is it, the last race for the 4th of July weekend that Raging Idiot Racing Network will cover. Tomorrow is going to be business as usual. Nathan Harper, Jared Haynes brings them down. We are rolling. 2 laps. We're going to try it again. Great start by Harper and Wren, both about what you wanted to see. That's exactly what Harper wanted to see. And now look, the outside lane not forming up. Thing about it is, does Wingo get up there? Right on board with Harper down the back straightaway. Well, if they make it back to the line, caution's out. Matt Frady around. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have one more attempt at overtime. I don't think my heart can take it. Well, let's see what happens with the 40. Hard to say. Okay, so down the back straightaway. Henning comes up, kind of stacks that lane up with Wingo. A bad push. Doesn't know. You see Sipple involved in that. What was a dominant night tonight gone awry. And really, I mean, you can look at it and one can think, you know, well, Henning jumps up there and blocks that line. Well, overtime, money on the line. I know I throw the money thing up a lot, but Steven, he's trying to get a push. What unfortunately happens is Michael Wingo, because the meat in the sandwich, he can't go through Steven. He's getting pushed. And you see the result. Just loses control, slams the one. Sipple gets into the 40. They all pretty much come together. So right there, there's a little bit after the contact, but there the 40 barely gets clipped by 25 to 1. A Jaretta gets slammed. Sipple through the grass. Able to save it. Wingo, a hell of a save. Unfortunately, the 40 will make contact with the inside wall. So some drivers come in the pit. Joshua McCullough, Nick Sipple, Daniel Earnhardt, Austin Green, just to name a few. Top 4 pretty much stay as they are. one of the people said, if we can just finish the race, that would be great. Well, the good news and the bad news is, the good news is another caution before they get to the white flag. Race is over at the moment of caution. The bad news is they can wad them up. It ain't no telling who's going to walk out of this. 29 viewers tonight. Appreciate everybody coming in, stopping by. Even if it's only for a few minutes to watch a handful of laps. Appreciate all the views. People taking time out of their Sunday night. Could be getting ready for work early in the morning. But they do choose to watch the whole race or watch part of it. It's awesome to have 29 viewers, and hopefully this finish will be worth staying up late through. We'll re-rack it before they take the one to go. Nathan Harper out front, Kyler Wren, Jared Haynes, Stephen Henning, Richard Elliott, the top 5. Mark Vondell has not heard nothing out of him all night. He has worked himself up into 6th. Michael Wingo is 7th. The 64, Joey Masowitz. And 9th, Stephen Scott Jr., the top 10. There ain't but only about 15 cars or so left in this race. Some of them, most of them have damage. It doesn't matter now. You ain't got friends. You ain't got allies. One to go. Every man for himself. They might keep it together to the white flag. See 2 more drivers coming out. Alright, so I'm being told through the comment section that the yellow comes out, they still go. Not like old NASCAR. It really does. But regardless, the race will end. Regardless, the race ends in the green, from what I'm understanding. Whew. For Nathan Harper, so close the last 2 times we've been on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. Kyler Wren has really not left the front, only but for a small bit. But has been out in front the majority of the night. Jared Fraze has made his presence known. Stephen Henning, we talked about Elijah Fisher having 9 lives. Stephen Henning has dodged just about everything after his first wreck that he could dodge. Look where it's put him, in a potential pain window. Richard Elliott, Mark Vondell, Wingo, Joey. Fisher's back there. Like, this is going to be anybody's race that's still on this track that can make it. They ain't got too much damage. Nathan Harper, Kyler Wren brings them down. We're rolling. Even start, about as even for both lanes as one can hope. Actually, the most even I've seen all night. Side by side into one. Fisher, you see him ducking out of line, down the back straightaway, blends back in, side by side, still for a lead. Bottom lane, not as connected, but by God, they're not shoving them. Harper out front, enough to clear for the moment. Looks to stay to the bottom. If they make it to the white flag, it don't matter how many of them wreck. Coming to the line. White flag. 1 to go. Wren leaves it at the line. Oh, there they go, wrecking behind them. Doesn't matter, stay green, 3 by 3. Stephen Henning on the 3rd lane. Nathan Harper's going to have to defend this back straightaway for his life. Down the back straightaway, Henning on the outside, trying to make that 3rd lane run. Here comes McCullough up the middle. Can Michael Wingo get to the bottom lane, potentially help push? 1 mile from home. Now you see outside lane's going to lose the speed, and he's going to fall back off of turn 4. For the final time, side by side, Wren, Harper at the line. Harper gets it over Wren. They wreck behind them. Nathan Harper finally gets redemption after all this time. In one of the most chaotic races, Nathan Harper will be one happy joker to talk to tonight. That's good stuff. Nathan Harper comes in first, Kyler Wren second, Jared Haynes in third, Mark Vondale fourth, Richard Elliott in fifth. Top 6 get a payout according to the flyer. Joshua McCullough will get that. Stephen Henning 7th. Joey Mass with 8. Elijah Fisher 9th. Michael Wingo rounds out the top 10. What a run. Burn it down, buddy. You earned it. Well, we'll wait for him to come in to the Discord to be able to get interviewed. So, wow, Nathan Harper burns it down. Yeah, still ain't nobody. We're waiting on him. Let him enjoy the moment. Let's see if we can't get Jared Haynes up in here. Gerald Hayes, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, buddy, at the end of the day, position yourself in a position to get the win. Unfortunately, it just comes up 2 spots short. Was there anything you felt like you could have done different in that last lap to get the job done tonight?
Not really. I had damage on the front end from one of the last wrecks before the green-white checkered started. I was just pretty much going to hang on to Nathan and keep pushing him around.
Yes, sir, but it seemed like it paid dividends for you. We saw a lot tonight. Kind of seemed like intensity may have been a little bit through the roof at some points. We did get a green flag run in, but as far as some of the pushes were going early, do you feel like some of it was a little bit egregious, so to speak, or do you feel like it's just probably how this track is, where Talladega's wider, this track's just slightly more narrow, but it can create more incidents? What was your take of things?
It's super speedway racing, man. It's all close. It's nut to butt, and shit's going to happen. I mean, stuff, sorry. I don't know. It could go either way. I know there was one wreck there. I'm going to go ahead and apologize because it came from the Jack Shack's way. Shouldn't have happened. Other than that, I think it's racing, man. Hard racing. Everybody's trying to get to the front.
Yes, sir, buddy. First time I think I've ever interviewed you. It's a pleasure to meet you, by the way. what I like to do
You too,
is,
buddy.
I know people have sponsors, bosses, friends, and family. I never knew how big iRacing was until I started getting into the commentary booth and doing these races. So that being said, I like to give the drivers the time to shout out anybody who watches them or supports them. So if there's anybody wanting to shout out, the floor is yours.
Heck yeah. Jack Shack, great team, great friends. We just keep on cashing here lately. We're on a good roll. Also wanted to shout out my wife for letting me race and watching every night, and y'all for putting on the broadcast, and Kenneth for putting on these races. They're always a fun time.
All right, buddy. Congratulations. Jared Hayes comes into the night, finishing third.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That being said, let's get in the man of the hour. He is available now. Nathan Harper, Garrett Jenkins, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Whew, long time coming it feels like, at least on the Raging Idiot Racing Network side of things. Last two broadcasts, buddy, led to most laps or have been there at the end, was not get the job done. Does this kind of get the monkey off the back tonight?
Yes, certainly. It certainly does. We needed that one for sure.
Yes, sir. But up there at the front when it really mattered, Jared just said during his interview, felt like some of the intensity tonight was just super speedway racing, but a little bit off the scale right from the get-go. What was your take on the race? How are you able to manage through the wrecks and the cautions? At one point, I felt like you were done on one of them big ones entering one. So just how are you able to manage to get back up there and survive everything?
Well, that wreck that happened with Kenny. I had thought about going to the third lane. I was like, you know what, I'm backing out of this. I went back down to the middle, and luckily I had space to get down to the flat. And I also got lucky no one was outside, because when you get down there, it gets tight, and your car's going up. And I just shot it down to the apron and got around the wreck, and I just went from there. I got the job done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You did get the job done. Hell of a race. Hell of a way to end 4th of July weekend. You know how I roll. You know the next question coming. Is there anybody you want to thank or shout out? Friends, family, sponsors, etc. Your number one fan showed up in the comments section again.
Yeah, shout out Kyler and Nick. I worked with them tonight. We got the 1-2. Shout out to Kenny for putting this on, and shout out to you for broadcasting this.
Yes, sir, buddy. Well, glad to see you finally got it. I ain't supposed to show favoritism, but one of them things where there's a couple of drivers in different leagues that get, after a while, get so close and yet so far, you kind of got to root for them. You were one of them tonight. Congratulations, buddy. And first of many, I hope. So we will see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Nathan Harper, your winner tonight from Daytona. See if we can't get the 82 in here real fast. Casey Sprinkle in the room. We'll take a guess that this is the guy. Kyler, you got a copy? Oh, I might not have the right guy.
Sorry, I didn't know it was me. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, well, okay, good. I did have the right guy in. Well, unfortunately, not the way you wanted to end this race after starting on pole. Led 10 laps, buddy. Was there anything you felt like you could have done different, or did it just deteriorate at the end?
Well, first of all, I'm really happy with P2. I'll take a P2 any day. But yeah, honestly, it just came down to which lane had more help there at the end. I think it was just Mark behind me who gave a great push. Shout out to him. Just didn't have anybody behind him to support him. The bottom lane had a bunch of cars, so ultimately more numbers won the race. We couldn't quite get there coming to the line. I tried everything. You can only do so much in this car.
Well,
but either way, I won't complain about it, PQ.
Well, going down the back straightaway when Stephen Henning made it 3 wide, did you feel like in that moment there might have been time to maybe cover him and see like who could, if you could potentially get a run, or whenever he made that third line happen, was it just too late going down the back straightaway?
A part of me wanted to, but I've done so many of these and I do this so much that I kind of figured that third lane wasn't going to go anywhere. It's kind of just something you learn with experience. So yeah, I kind of just figured there that third lane wasn't going to really result in anything, and I had help coming too, so it wasn't that big of an issue. I mean, it sucks because I think I could have won the race or had a better shot at winning if he didn't do that. But I understand why. He's going for the win too.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of money on the line tonight. We didn't get no 28 cars, but still over $100 to the winner tonight.
Yeah.
Lucky guy. But, well, buddy, first off, congratulations on P2. First time meeting you, so nice to meet you, by the way.
Yep.
I understand people's got bosses, sponsors, friends and family galore watching them, God himself even. So at this time, I like to give the drivers, if they want to shout out anybody, that the floor is yours.
Yeah. Shout out to you for broadcasting, first of all. I pull up the broadcast there halfway through the race to check out a wreck, and I'm really impressed by the quality. So a lot of broadcasters doesn't seem like they really care about the quality of the broadcast, but it's clear that you do. Thank you for that. Kenny for putting all this on. He does a great job hosting these races. He's really fair, and honestly, MMS is some of the best racing there is in the money racing scene. I mean, tonight wasn't really an indication of that, and Nick Sipple and Nathan Harper for the help tonight. Great teammates, and congrats to Nathan on the win.
All right, buddy. Well, Kyler Wren comes up one spot short tonight, but will take a P2 finish and first of many interviews, I hope, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Yes, sir. That being said, I am going to take the extra time to interview a couple of other guys here. So, first one. We'll pull him in while he's still in there, 'cause I know he's about ready to go to bed. Stephen Henning, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. Yeah, copy. We'll give him a second here.
Yes, sir.
There he is. Better late than never.
Yeah, I had it muted.
Well, buddy, I haven't interviewed you in a while. So, first off, to jump from Inspired to race MMS tonight, debuting tonight, bit of a wreck fest. I did tell you at the top of the show that these guys were a little bit tough to race. They don't give no inches at the end of these races. All in all, I understand you got involved in the first two incidents, Robert Wilhoit not going, and then the first one early in the race. How did that really shape out your mentality and your thinking to approach the rest of this race tonight?
Tiptoe through all the calamity, I guess.
You did that very well.
Yeah, there was a few times where it was very sketchy, but I think that car got beat up more times than I can say it stayed out of wrecks. But I mean, we pulled it out there and we put her up front a few times and had a chance at it at the end there. Just, I guess, I don't know what to say right now. I don't know what I can and can't say. So I'll just say that we put on one hell of a show, I guess you want to call it, and we fought right till the end.
Yes, you did, buddy. I want to take you back, going down that back straightaway for the final time. They're wrecking behind you, coming off of turn 2. When you make that third line, were you hoping that more drivers would go with you, or did you feel like it was just a last-ditch effort?
I was hoping there would be more, but I mean, at the end of it, I mean, nobody's going to go with you. It's everybody for themselves, and I get that. It's just, man, I've been chomping at the bit at Daytona and Talladega and Atlanta, getting so damn close at these things, and I just can't seem to get it figured out to finish on top of one of these things.
Well, I don't want to hear that after I've seen you in other league races. I don't want to hear that. But Steven, well, you know how I roll. You're very familiar with each other. But I asked this question at the end. I understand people's got friends and family, sponsors, bosses, even God even watching themselves. So at this time, there anybody want to shout out and thank? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I just got to thank, first of all, the guy that helped me get in here tonight, Elijah Fisher. He helped me get in here and get all figured out and what I need to do and not do and this, that, and everything else. Got to thank him. Got to thank the family. Got my niece over. She's having a sleepover. So tried to be quiet the whole night there. I mean, there was a few times we got a little bit excited,
Well, I can
but
imagine.
she's a heavy sleeper. So got to thank the family for letting me do this while everybody else is a little bit busy. But yeah, I just gotta thank Robert for helping me out near the end there with the spotting, and I think that's it.
All right.
Gotta say thanks to the fans too, and you for doing the broadcast, of course.
Ain't no problem, buddy. Unfortunately, one spot short from a payout, but Stephen Henning will have to settle for 7th and gear up for Atlanta tomorrow night for the Inspired Cup Series playoffs. Best of luck, buddy.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too. Well, it was a great race tonight, all in all. It was intense. I know a little bit more cautions than what was expected, but it was probably the perfect way to end the 4th of July weekend. We'll look at the results tonight. Nathan Harper finally gets the monkey off his back. Finally takes the win. Kyler Wren in 2nd. Gerald Hayes 3rd. Mark Von Dale in 4th. Richard Elliott 5th. Joshua McCullough claims 6th. Stephen Henning Jr. in 7th. The 6th for Joey Masowitz in 8th. Elijah Fisher 9th. Michael Wingo rounds out the top 10 after a great run by really the whole top 5, or the top 10 really. Down toward the field, Corey Wright started outside pole. Unfortunately, could not get there at the end. Austin Green had to settle for 12th. Matt Frady, after a solid run in the top 10 all night, finally gets taken out to set up the last overtime finish. Had to settle for 13th. Daniel Earhart, 14th. Joe Herrera in 15th. Steven Scott Jr. in the 16th spot. Nick Sipple, 17th. Robert Wilhoit will have to settle for an 18th spot tonight. We're going down through the field. Garrett Caswell, 19th. Kenneth McCullough Jr., a rough night. 40.03 will have to settle for 20th. Dylan Jones set the fastest lap of the race. Unfortunately, it will not provide in a pay-in position finish. He will round out 21st. Hunter Hastings, Steve Sizemore, Chase Mastretta, Mike Bernard, or Bearden, and Axel Smith. I'm assuming I'm saying that right. We'll round out the 26th and final spot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate everybody taking time out of their schedule again tonight to join us for the MMS race to close out 4th of July weekend. Nathan Harper was able to survive all the carnage somehow, some way to get the win tonight. Tomorrow night, Inspired Racing League Cup Series. 2nd round of the playoffs for 8 drivers trying to clinch in 4 spots for Homestead. That will start tomorrow night at about 8:45 Eastern Time. You can all tune in and watch the best Inspired has to offer. And then I'm sure on throughout the week there'll be some other broadcasts to going on. And it's just going to be an action-filled week. But until then, I'm Garrett Jenkins. This has been the Raging Idiot Racing Network, bringing you live coverage of the MMS Money Racing Series. And we will see y'all tomorrow night. Everybody take care.